Welcome everyone to Code Slice. This is where we're going to be looking at how to store data within JSON and also how to upload data as well. So this is a very good tutorial for you to use if you're going to be working on with notes, uploading notes, saving notes, and all of that. Yes, so I can't really speak too loud, but bear with me. Yes, so the very first thing to do is make sure that you prepare your main pie, your Kivy, and also your JSON file. As you can see, at this point everything is empty. So let's go ahead and work on importing all the things we need to import. Let's import app. Let's also import screen manager to manage the screen. Import screen. Yes, and also since we're going to be working with JSON, so JSON is actually the storage module in Kivy. So we can go ahead and also import Kivy storage. From Kivy storage, we can import the JSONStore. So JsonStore is what will allow us to save whatever we type in our the notes, and then we can be able to once again also call up the data. Alright, let's go on and also create our main class, main app class. Okay, let's go ahead and pass that. Yeah, and let's run it. Yeah, dot run. Oh, there's an error. As you can see, there's an error there. It says there's no attribute run. So the reason for this error in particular is because in our the class, the main app actually inherits from the app class. So I didn't include that. So that's just something to to keep in mind. So main app inherits from the app class. Anyway, so what we're also going to do is we're going to create a class where we can be we're going to do everything like our notes and the layout and things like that. So we can go on, then we can create a class. So what can we name it? It's up to you what you want to name it. So for me, I think I can name it class notes. Notes screen. So it's going to be a screen. Oh yeah, let me also in main app also just change that app pass. Okay, and then app there. So this is where the arrow is coming from. So if we run that, let's return the note screen. Let's go on and run that. Okay, it's a blank screen. It's a blank screen because we don't have anything. We don't have anything under the class. So in order to create our text input and the buttons, we're going to be using our Kivy file. So in this case, I'm using Sublime Text. So we can go ahead and create our node class. And in this case, I want to create a grid layout. 2 rows and 1 column. You'll see just now what I'm trying to do. The size is going to be a half, size hint 0.5 for the X value and 0.5 for the Y value. Okay, pause hint. So we want to center it out. Center X and okay, and center Y 0.5 as well. Okay, so also I would encourage you to also follow along as you do this tutorial. So that is why I'm typing not too quickly here. It is so that you can be able to follow along. So the text input, the text, right, welcome to Code Slice. So please subscribe, comment, and also do share what you'd like to see in the next tutorial. Next up, we can create our box layout with 2 buttons. The save button. So now we have a text input and 2 buttons. There we go, as you can see. But maybe we would just like to make the text input a bit longer and then the buttons maybe a bit smaller. So for this we can use size hint Y. We can put this to 0.8. Okay, so let's see. Okay, it doesn't make any change. So we also have to make the size hint of the box layout 0.2. Yeah, that should work out. Amazing, awesome. Yes, so as you can see, we have the text input and the 2 buttons, so we can type in the text there and stuff, whatever you want to type. That's going to be where your note is going to be. And then you have the load, the 2 buttons, the load and the save button. Yes, so in order to load and save, we will of course need to use the JSON file. But before we go into using the JSON file, I would just like to initialize, create an init function, something that can load some few methods when the app begins. The reason why we are doing this is so that when we start the app, the node can remain open. So if we define without using the init function, it won't, like the node won't show unless if we press a button or something. Yes, okay. We can superclass. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now we can finally import or use our storage. So we can use self.store, JsonStore, and as I shared in the beginning, we already prepared a file which is hello JSON file. So we can go on and put that in. Okay. Right. So our JSON file is empty. So we will now put in the data in the JSON file. Now, when you put the data in the JSON file, what is very, very important is that the very first item you're going to put in the JSON file. It's more of a title. It's a title or a list, and also just something to keep a note of. What you can see here, you can see like there's a red color that means it's an error. When you use the JSON file, you have to use the double what do you call it? The double, like, I'm not sure what to call this, but yeah, but basically you must use the double quotations, as you can see. Okay, and then the colons. Yeah. So the first item that you're gonna put in your JSON file, I wrote noted. You can write anything there. That is basically the title. It's more of like the title in a way. It's the title of the data that you're going to be putting in, and then what you put next, it's a keyword argument. So in this case, we have note text, which is equal to any data that I want it to be. In this case, this is from JSON. So if we go on and run that, we will not see anything. The reason we don't see anything yet is because we haven't displayed the data. So to do that, we will need to create an ID for our text box or text input. So in this case, ID txt. You can use anything here, but for me, I'm using txt. And then also txt is txt. Yeah. All right. So we can save that. Okay, I think that's fine. Right. Okay. And then now we can then load the data into the text input. So self the text input to text is equal to self. So we're gonna take the data from the storage, self.store.get. Very important. You must put there firstly the title, like in this case I use noted, and then also you must put your keyword argument or your keyword, which in this case is the note text, which was already defined in the JSON file. Okay, let's see what happens. Alright, we encountered an error. Let's try it again. Oh, it's an error again. Oh, I see. Oh, yes. So, let's just go check what the error is. Oh no, it was fine. So noted was in a capital letter. Yeah, so the error seems like it came from the file name. Yeah, the file name is H with the lowercase, not with the, yeah, so I should just rename the file, correct the file name to hello JSON. Yeah, now when we run it, it should show. Yes, there we go. This is from JSON. So as you can see, we have successfully imported the data from the JSON. However, the buttons have not, we haven't defined any methods for the buttons. Okay, so we can start with the save button. So we would like to save, so we can create save note, save note function. Now to save note, we need to use a store put method. So we can either get a note, or we can either get something from the storage, or we can put something. So in this case, we can say a self.store.put, since we're saving something, and then we're gonna, now once again, we'll have to start with the title. So noted. Your title can be whatever you want it to be here, it doesn't really matter. And then what we have, note. So our note text in this case is what we want to save. So since we type one out, we're gonna say note text is equal to the text input, the self.text input that we typed. So self.txt.text. Yeah, so that should save the text that we type in the text input into the JSON file. Yeah, of course, if you do this, let's say, so if you define the function and you run it, it won't really have any effect. The reason why that is the case, okay, sorry about that, my laptop is jamming a bit. Okay, yeah, I think it's slowly loading. Yes, so as you can see, if you press the button, it won't have any effect or impact or any change. The reason being is because we still need to link the function to the button, so we can create an on release function, or on release okay, on release root.save notes. Okay, it's a note. Okay, note. Okay, let's go on and save that. Okay, so now if we run this, what we can clearly see now, if we run this, what we can see now is that whatever I type in the text input, if I press the save button, it will be saved. So save, and to see if it's saved, let's go on and restart. Let's run the code again. Voila, 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 voila. As you can see, it is clearly saved. We can even clear everything and save, and if we run it again, it will be empty. Yes, as you can see. Yeah, what you can also do is you can also check the JSON file as well, and you'll see the change. Yeah. All right, but now what we would like to do is we would like to load. Yeah. So the reason why maybe we might need the load button is suppose maybe you mistakenly delete some of the data from your note, but you want to load it because you deleted it by mistake. The load is what will help you. You can just load the previous data. Yeah, so let's go on. So load note. So instead of putting it, we're going to be getting it. So and what are we getting? The self.txt, right? So self txt. So self.txt, which is what is in the text input, is equal to self.storage.get. Remember, the first list, which is noted in this case, it can be anything for you, any title you'd like to put it. And then in terms of like our keyword, which is note text, that there is the content within the JSON file which we can be able to manipulate and edit and add into it. So if we go on and run this, yeah, so once again the code will not run, right? Remember, okay, let's just remove, for instance, if you delete something and let's say you want to once again display what you deleted, maybe by mistake or something like that, you would want to use the load to get it back. Yeah, but as you can see, it's not working. The reason being is because we haven't defined, we haven't linked the button to the function. Let's do that. Okay, load. Now we're loading the notes. Okay, there we go. So if we type something and then we load, it will take us back to what it was before. Load. Yeah, so this is in particularly good if you type by mistake, if you delete your note by mistake, or you do something accidentally. So loading is something very, very important to have, especially if you're building something like a note. Yes, and then also what you can also do is you can also maybe create a clear button if you just want to remove everything. It works the same way as load, but now instead of loading what was previous, you can just load. You can load no text, like zero text, as you can see. So there's no text, but if you do it like this, of course it won't have any change. But let's just go on and create the button first. Okay, we'll add another button, a clear button. Yeah, this is going to be a clear button. Okay, of course the function in this case is going to be clear. Okay, go on and save that. Right, if you go on and run this, it won't work. The reason why it won't work is because what we want to clear specifically is the text input. So we have to ID, or we have to specify what we want to clear. So in this case, we want to clear the text of the text input. So self.text input, let's go in and copy that. Then it's equal to, then we put the empty spaces. Yes, empty spaces, nothing. Yes, Yeah, so if you go on and save that, okay, so as you can see, if we save the text, right, we can also then use load to go back, and we can clear. Yeah, so now you have these three buttons, which is load, save, and clear. They definitely come in handy. Once again, you can test it again, and you can see that the app clearly works very, very well. Yes, and that is pretty much it for this tutorial. Once again, I do apologize for not being able to enunciate my voice clearly. It is because I chose a wrong time to record. Yes, but this is what I have for today. So please leave a comment, and also please do let me know if there's anything you'd like me to do a tutorial on. Please do subscribe. Please do share. Your support is appreciated. From Coach Lice, that's it. Bye.